Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think the President of the Republic of Kenya, that is President William Samoei Ruto, prefers Kithure Kindiki to become his deputy president after the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua? That is going to form the basis of this analysis here, but kindly before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. For those who keep supporting, please, I want to thank you so much for coming back always to watch my videos. Now, Kithure Kindiki has been a long-term friend of President William Ruto, actually even represented him at the Hague during the trial of the ICC, of course, accusations that were made at that time, and he did very well. We saw William Ruto's case finally coming to an end, despite we also have so many questions as far as the witness disappearances, the disappearances of witnesses are concerned. Nevertheless, the case was well done, and William Ruto is now a free man. They have also been friends for some time in the Kenyan politics. Even during the Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, we realized that Kithure Kindiki was very eloquent and very vocal in the Senate, speaking actually in support of President William Ruto, who was then the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. He even said so many things in relation to the governance that was being experienced from President Uhuru Kenyatta. So therefore, they have been long-term friends. When it came to 2022, we found that President William Ruto now had a tussle of choosing who was to be the deputy president. Apart from amongst all other qualified candidates during that time, Rigathi Gachagua was selected to become the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. The reaction from Kithure Kindiki was so dire. We realized that Kithure Kindiki was disappointed. Actually, he reached to a point where he was saying he does not want an appointment. He wants to go free, relax at home, out of feelings generally, that has been showing that he has been disappointed by the decision made by the UDA people and also the president himself. So eventually, he was promised to become one of the topmost. Actually, Ruto said while in Tarakanidi that he was going after him, just Kithure Kindiki, and people redoubted that, but it's now coming to pass. So in reaction to how Kithure Kindiki felt as far as being left out of being the deputy president in 2022, Kithure Kindiki was later on appointed by President William Ruto to become the cabinet secretary under the Interior Defense docket. So Interior Ministry is what he has been heading. Even after the dissolution of the cabinet, he was still retained and taken back to serve in that docket. Now, in this docket where he has been serving as the Interior Cabinet Secretary, we have to be honest as a country that he has not been doing well as a minister. He did not do well to the expectations of Kenyans, in particular, the issues of management of demonstrations in the country. Why am I talking of demonstrations specifically? During his time in Kenya, we've not had serious attacks from Al-Shabaab like we had during Matiang'i and other cabinet secretaries in the same docket before. So therefore, I'm using the demonstrations as one of the avenues of rating Kithure Kindiki. So during the demonstrations that happened when Raila Amolo Odinga called them in 2022, actually around December there, after the elections had been finished in the country, we realized that most youths in this country were killed. I want to give an example of a youth in Maseno who was shot right in his head. I want to give another one in Nairobi, was shot right in his head, I think in Mukuru or Pipeline, and many other people lost their lives. That is the first demonstration. The second one now, where the Gen Zs were the main victims or the main participators, we realized that youths were shot dead at the parliament buildings. We realized that youths were actually arrested and detained in various police stations in the country. And now something new was introduced in this kind of demonstration, where we had youths or even some other people against the government being abducted and kept incommunicado for so many days without anybody knowing where they are. That is Kithure Kindiki's docket that has been performing in various times of this country. So the Kindiki we know as the Gen Zs and millennials, and also some other people who want proper governance in this country, it's the Kindiki who has failed completely to manage demonstrations in this country successfully without any death being experienced. So, despite of all this, President William Ruto decided to nominate him actually to become his deputy president after impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. Therefore, the question that I raise here today, that I'm going to analyze critically, why Kithure Kindiki despite of all this? First of all, you have to admit that President William Ruto does not take regard of anything that the Gen Zs and millennials were raising, because if he could take them seriously, right now Kindiki could not be in office. But because he assumed everything, they ignored everything the Gen Zs were raising, he went ahead to reappoint him after the dissolution, and now is going to appoint him as the deputy president of this country. Then now, why is he being selected? Why is he the one? Simple. Impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua has killed William Ruto's support by now in the Kikuyu nation, particularly Mount Kenya West. And now he doesn't want to completely lose the Mount Kenya East. So he decided to appoint Kithure Kindiki, who comes from that region, so that at least they could bring all the votes from that region. So that to ensure that Mount Kenya has at least gotten some votes for William Ruto, has it at least bring something on board. So Kithure Kindiki, first reason to take care of the Mount Kenya East. That will add on the votes that William Ruto and Raila will be looking for in 2027. That's the first reason. One thing you have to know is that the people of Tharaka Nithi, Meru, if they decide to vote, they vote overwhelmingly. So therefore, it's something they can bank on. If he manages to bring on to control the Meru, done. Aembu, done. So therefore, it will be easy for President Ruto to get votes from the central region. Another simple reason that you have all to remember here, it is that William Ruto has been using a tactic across the country that everyone knows: divide and rule. The only region that he had not divided is Mount Kenya, but now he has divided it himself. Why? We know very well Rigathi Gachagua is going to champion for the Kikuyu nation, while we have now the gentleman called Kithure Kindiki going to represent the Mount Kenya East people. So that means very well he has managed to divide the two regions successfully. That means we are going to have the rising of some leaders in other parts of this country, particularly the rising of the leaders, particularly from Mount Kenya West, who are going to oppose the government seriously. And then Kithure Kindiki will come from Mount Kenya East, who will be supporting the government seriously. We will have some leaders from the Mount Kenya West, MPs particularly, who are going to support the government immensely. Now, this kind of support and opposition within the same region is the best tactic that William Ruto always likes using in all parts of the country. For those who are questioning, let's go back to Western Kenya. He divided between, he will divide. The Western Kenya was already divided. So he took Wetangula and Mudavadi. Then Oparanya was left with Raila. Oparanya now is on board. But you see, we are seeing someone like Contembeya coming up. You'll be encouraged to do so. That divide and rule is what William Ruto always benefits with. Now, in Kise County, he has ensured that Arati and Osoro are not in good terms. These gentlemen are all fighting for the Supreme. They are all in a supremacy battle within the Guse region. They all want to control the region politically. So you realize from this kind of aggressions, this kind of activities by some of these leaders in these regions that William Ruto once votes from, this kind of division makes him at least get some support, and at some point, even if he loses not so many votes. So the divide and rule has been his tactic. So therefore, the region is one of the regions that he has to divide. Now, the reason as to why I'm saying that William Ruto he had to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. He had to impeach Rigathi Gachagua completely. I'm saying this for a simple reason here. Rigathi Gachagua, he was up to uniting the mountain region. And William Ruto is very much aware that a united mountain is a scary mountain. Nobody can easily touch that mountain. They are going to control the Kenyan politics. And William Ruto knows that he did so much to ensure that he has gotten the mountain out of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he cannot allow it to be now under someone again. It will be giving him hard time to get it out. So therefore, he has to ensure that he has divided the mountain completely, so that at least it is not united, so that going forward, he's not going to have a hard time to get votes from there. A united mountain, if it votes against him, that means completely William Ruto is going on very early in the morning. And actually, a united mountain, if it votes on his support, William Ruto will win very early in the morning. That's the calculation that they did in 2022, and probably now he's expecting Raila's support. He only needs a few votes from the mountain region. Those are some of the reasons I feel that Kithure Kindiki has been nominated by President William Ruto, and the government is forcing seriously to ensure that he is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya after the impeachment of Gachagua. That is my video there and there. If this is the first time once again you're watching, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. My name is Abel Mukwa.